Well, hello. I wanted to kind of follow up with my last video that got a much bigger response than I ever thought would happen. I'm a nobody here on TikTok. I haven't even been on for a year, I don't think. And the only thing that I've done is put out a 30-part series about a 4-year relationship that I had with a narcissist. That's it. I don't, oh, sorry. See, I don't know what I'm doing. Anyway, I'm not here to create an influencer lifestyle for myself. I don't intend to get paid for this. I just enjoy kind of idea exchange, learning things, but also telling stories from my life because I don't know, it's what I know best, I guess. So I wanted to talk further in depth about the post that I made regarding gentrification and how I learned how I am learning, I should say, how I add to it, and trying to brainstorm how to not create a negative ripple from that, how to not add to gentrification if it's possible even. I'm here to talk about that, and apparently by the response, there's a need for that because I think a lot of people are in the same situation. And I will say that the bulk of the comments that I got, I'm impressed because I think that people truly want to understand. I think people truly want to discuss this. Of course, there are the haters because there's always haters who do nothing but hate. And luckily, there's only a minimum of that in this instance. And I have the power to delete those comments, and I will, because I'm here to have respectful discussions with people, not be cowards and not accuse people of things that are ridiculous. So half of the people I feel like understood the gentrification issue, and half of the people are hung up on how an economy works and that it's supply and demand and that it's an isolated incident and that Luis deserved 1,000 pesos and that I overpaid and all this kind of stuff. And I feel like I want to put a spotlight on what my whole intention in posting that was, which was learning how, as somebody who has USD coming into a country that operates in a different currency and that the conversion rate is extensive, how that impacts the community that I have moved into. A lot of that I learned is tied up in people's belief of my worthiness to exist here. And off the bat, I say we're all human beings and we're all worthy of existence anywhere the fuck we want to be. I believe that for me. I believe that for you. I even believe that for people that I do not have any respect for whatsoever. There are a few people that I think maybe they shouldn't exist at all, but I won't get into that too much. My whole point was not that I felt like I overpaid and that I didn't get my money's worth, or that Luis didn't do a good enough job, or that look how much money I saved because I live in Mexico, or that I'm here to colonize, I'm white, and I'm going to change this town, or any other bullshit thing that people said. I am here to say that what I have learned is that coming in with United States dollars to a place that has a different currency that is valued lower than the United States dollar for whatever reason has a ripple effect on the economy when those resources that I have are used in an inappropriate way. It's not the fact that I have resources, which again, I do not have an income. I think I said this in the comments. I do not have an income. Nothing is coming into me. I was in an accident and I got a settlement that is a lot here and not very much in the United States. Did I say when I got this settlement, oh, I'm going to move somewhere cheaper so I can make this last longer? No, that is not the reason why I moved to Mexico. It is one benefit, and I don't have a problem with people moving to a place that's cheaper to make their dollars stretch longer, or their pesos, or their euros, or their yen, whatever the fuck. I don't have a problem with people moving someplace cheaper to make their life more comfortable. I think it's what we all want. It's the exact same reason why people go to the United States and other countries around the world that have a more robust economy to make more money. It is one in the same. And there isn't a problem with any of that. The problem is not the resources. The problem is how people use and abuse resources. So I have to really think about, how am I using my resources? Is it fitting in with the community that I find myself in currently? If I go to the UK, nobody's going to bat an eye if I hire a gardener. Nobody's going to tell me that I overpaid, because there nobody cares, because it is a more robust economy. The same thing in the United States. Nobody gives a fuck, because there are more resources available there, right? Here the resources are more scarce. So it has a greater ripple effect on the community that I'm in when I misuse my resources. I did not intentionally misuse my resources, and this is what I've learned, is that it is extremely counterintuitive when you enter a place where there is extreme poverty. What you think is helping is actually hurting. And the problem goes so much deeper than just one isolated incident of paying a gardener 1,000 pesos versus 600 pesos or 300 pesos, whatever the case may be. So what I told Luis at the end of 2.5 days worth of work, where he made 2,500 pesos for an incredible job, which converts to about $134. What I said to him, because he's a young 21-year-old, pretty inexperienced, it seems like, because I felt like I had a duty to say this, I said, I gave your number to my Spanish teacher. When she found out how much you charged me, she said he probably won't want to work with me because I can't pay that. What I'm asking you to do is consider working with her or with other Mexicans. Don't stop working with other Mexicans, because don't let foreigners change your town. Oaxaca is a sacred place. Don't let people from the outside come in and change it. Think about what your actions lead to. I don't know what he's going to do. It'll be interesting to find out what he decides to do. But I felt like I had a responsibility at least to say that, and I wouldn't have said that to a grown man. I just wanted him to think about his action, because my belief is that both sides are responsible for this, but I really think that the onus is on people who decide to stop working within their own community. I understand it, because we all want better for ourselves. I think. Pretty sure that's what we want. I don't fault somebody for that. However, it's important to think about what our actions then result in. And I'm not pointing the finger at him. I also think I need to think about that as well, which is what I'm saying, which is exactly what I'm saying. This is the point, because I don't have control over Luis's behavior. I don't want to control that. That's not my place. My place is to have control over my own behavior. And this is what I'm saying, is that how I use my resources is a great responsibility. How you use your resources is a great responsibility. Maybe there are some people who really think about the greater consequence of buying this or spending my money on that or going there. I think the vast majority of people don't think about those things.